Time to get real. I want to see some crazy Wiz Biz.
What's the magic made out of, ding dong?
I want to see some of that Wiz Biz.
This castle is in unacceptable condition! Unacceptable! Mathematical!
You can't like that.
Bacon pancake!
Guess what time it is? It's Wiz Biz time.
You didn't give me time to guess.
Oh, let's start over. Guess what time it is?
Yeah, I don't even have a single guess.
Well, it's Wiz Biz time.
Oh, yeah, I probably should have guessed that.
This is Wiz Biz with Alexx and Erik. I'm Erik.
And I'm Alex.
And we talk about Adventure Time. I guess that's kind of what time it is. It's Adventure Time discussion time. In this episode, we will be discussing Season 1, Episodes 17 and 18. Episode 17 is called When Wedding Bells Thaw, and Episode 18, which is one of my favorites in Season 1, is called Dungeon. Dungeon. Yes. So let's start with When Wedding Bells Thaw. Do you have any initial thoughts, Alex?
I do have a very important initial thought.
Okay.
And it has to do with a very important aspect of the show that we rarely discuss. Closed captioning.
Closed captioning.
For there is a mistake in the closed captioning in this episode that I would like to address thusly.
Oh.
It opens
It opens.
with Jake playing a certain musical instrument. What musical instrument would this be?
The viola?
The viola, exactly. The closed captioning said violin playing.
Well, that's wrong.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
I mean,
I demand a refund from the people at HBO Max where I was watching it.
we should
This is
both get a
bullshit.
month free. At least 1 month free because of this.
I wonder if we wrote to them what would happen.
If we could get all of our listeners, all 20 of them, to write in, we could probably start a letter writing campaign.
Yeah. I like when, like on podcasts where they like joke around about like, oh, our 20 listeners when they really have like a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of sad when it's, honestly, just like 20 listeners.
Oh, we do have more than 20, though. We
Yeah.
probably have like 40 by this,
Oh,
at
all
this
right,
point.
fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
We're doing better. We're improving, yeah, and thank you, by the way, listeners. Thank you so much. It's really been fun interacting with you guys. It's fun getting tweeted at, quote upon. And, we're recording this right after we did our Halloween live stream. So it's very possible that you heard, I haven't actually gone through the audio to see it, but we might have a little mini episode that we pull out of the Halloween live stream that we turn into something on the podcast feed. But if not, you can always go watch the Halloween live stream on our YouTube channel, which, as of this moment, has just one video. And I'll make sure there's links in the show notes for that.
Ooh, can I guess what the video is?
Yeah.
Is it that sexy dance you do?
No, not that video. That's not, they wouldn't let that be on YouTube. You can't do that kind of stuff on YouTube.
Oh, I'm thinking of your OnlyFans.
Yeah.
My mistake. So yeah,
It's the Halloween live stream video.
yeah, you can see what Eric and I look like as we talk about Adventure Time and occult stuff.
Yeah, and it was fun. Oh, so anyhow, when Wedding Bells Thaw, we do learn while Jake is playing the viola that Finn gets bored when he listens to music. Or at least that's the face he makes.
Well, he does claim that it's just the face he makes, so I don't know if we can extrapolate true boredom.
I think he was trying to spare Jake's feelings. I think he was bored. I mean, it was boring music. And then when Jake's like, oh, I'm going to kick it up a notch, he gets more boring. Which was hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, so this episode is kind of a creepy one. Because it starts off as sort of this like feel-goody thing where the Ice King shows up and he's all like, oh, I'm getting married. And Finn and Jake are like, oh, that means you don't get to capture any more princesses. And Ice King like basically guilt trips them into throwing him a bachelor party, which he calls a
Man-Lorette party.
party.
Yeah. Which,
and,
I mean, just grammatically is
insulting.
insulting.
Yeah. And, so the episode just seems sort of goofy and weird the whole time until you get to the end and you realize that the Ice King is totally mind-controlled this poor old lady princess.
Yeah.
That's actually the character's name, Old Lady Princess.
Yeah. She's trapped in her own eye.
Yeah,
Some
and it's
kind of
friggin'
curse.
freaky as hell.
It does.
Like, like, it's really, truly a villainous moment because Ice King has been manipulating the heroes all along, getting them to like go along with this wedding thing because they think if the Ice King gets married, he'll stop his evil machinations of kidnapping princesses.
Mm-hmm.
But all along, it was all just another kidnapping plot. It's pretty awful.
Yeah, but I mean...
It's evil.
Yeah, but in the way that this is a D&D based show, that is his alignment. And what would be more evil? Him acting outside of his alignment? Or him going along with the rules of the universe? So I would say the only way for him to be good at his character would be to continue to be evil, thus evil being good. It's like Dharma, as discussed many times in the show.
So you think that
he's following his Dharma? That is the right actions for an Ice King.
Okay, I would agree with that. He is following his Dharma. He's definitely following his Dharma, and those are right actions for an Ice King, but they're wrong actions for anybody.
According to whom?
According to just the laws of human decency.
Well, not Krishna. Krishna would disagree with you.
Yeah, but Krishna has an avatar of Shiva.
Yeah. Well,
the destroyer.
Also the creator.
Oh.
And a fine dancer.
And a fine dancer, that's true.
Yes. So, yeah, obviously Ice King is a bit of a cad.
Yeah.
Bit of a kidnapping cad. Cad might be the strongest word.
I love when he has this realization about what marriage means, and he says, "It means I get to capture a princess forever and let her live inside of me."
It's kind of sweet when you really think about it.
Yeah, that's totally. This episode made me realize that I'm okay never getting married again.
I mean, I would like to find an old lady princess to kidnap
and have her live inside of you.
Yeah, and have her live inside of me. So here's another thing I enjoyed about this episode was the electronic music, like, what do you call that? Like, whatever, the electronic music sequence of them going on their Man Lorette party.
Oh, yeah, they go to like montage of different bars.
Montage was the word I couldn't think of.
Yeah.
So they go to a teddy bear bar and get in a fight. Mm-hmm. Then they go to like some kind of like plant Sasquatch bar
and get in a fight.
And then they start floating down the river and Finn and Jake get mad that Ice King is splashing them. Which I was thinking, hey, Finn and Jake, try to be a little chill. It's the guy's fucking bachelor party.
Man Lorette.
Yeah, no, but still, I'm tired of saying that. So bachelor party. And then Ice King has a wonderful moment where he creates a sentient snowball and they just start maniacally laughing together until he just throws the snowball at the ground, killing it. Yeah.
I mean, it's a reminder, Ice King over the course of this series, he becomes a very sympathetic villain. Like, sure, he's a pile of evil, but you really, really start to feel sorry for him over time. Because he's not this way, it's the Ice King mantle that really turns him into this evil creature.
Yeah,
and I think they do little things like this episode earlier on to sort of reinforce that Ice King is the bad guy. But I think later on he becomes less and less of a bad guy, or he does fewer evil things.
Yeah, I mean, as the show kind of fleshes out the characters and actually makes them characters, in this one, they're caricatures.
Yeah.
Boy, I didn't pronounce that right.
That's okay. You want to say it again?
No, I can't say that word. As I was saying it, I was like, fuck, that's one of those words I can't say. And
Caricatures?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a fun one.
Yeah. I stumble over that.
Son of a toot.
Correct. Son of a toot was great. Oh, we also find out in this episode that Ice King has the Eye of Agamotto and a ghost pouch.
Yes, the ghost pouch, I don't know if that ever shows up again, but that evil eye amulet does later on, and it's very important in the Gunter storyline.
Yes.
So we'll see that one again.
It's also one of the Infinity Stones.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's why Ice King is so powerful.
Yeah. That's actually...
That's canon. We've made it canon now.
That's Doctor Strange. That's Dr. Stephen Strange in the future.
Yeah.
Is Ice King.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he gets real ugly.
Yeah, the Eye of Agamotto makes him put on a crown and turns into Stephen Strange Ice King.
Yeah. one really nice touch at the end of this episode, they kind of have this sort of scene with Finn and Jake just having this like laugh, like, oh, ha, 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 what an adventure. And it just felt like such a throwback to like Hanna-Barbera cartoons ending.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the sort of like happy laugh at the end, like, ah, ha, ha, it was such a farce.
Yes.
Even though in reality, this episode had some like pretty horrific things. Like the fact that the Ice King can like imprison somebody inside their own body with the magic ice ring is pretty scary.
You can't do that?
No, I don't have any ice powers. I'm way more of a candy person.
Well, me too. But I can put like a ring pop on someone's finger. And then become my thrall.
Oh yeah. I mean, I do that, all the time. It's just how I get chores done.
It's a juicy jewel of flavor ring pop. That's from the commercial from when I was a child. I did like that Ice King's his wedding ceremony is binding his wife and lowering her from the ceiling until she touches his beard, and thus they are married. And that's the big trick, is that he actually touched Jake instead of her, and so Jake and him are married. Which is, I guess we forget about that, but, I guess marriage doesn't mean anything in this world.
Well, they get unmarried by the end of the episode.
Do they?
Yeah, because at the end, Ice King is knocking on the door. He's like, guys, come and help me celebrate my unmarriage party. He gets unmarried.
Well,
the end.
I wonder how you do that. Do you have to, like, touch his butt or something?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really want to know. The Ice King is like all ice. The Ice Kingdom is all Ice King. Like, he made the Ice Kingdom. So all of its laws and customs and rules and stuff are things he invented, which is sort of hilarious. Yeah. So this whole wedding ceremony, when he says it's the traditional Ice King or Ice Kingdom thing, it's like he made that up.
You know what was really funny too? That Finn and Jake get trapped in ice, and Finn breaks his way out using his bow tie. Oh. He takes his bow tie off and smashes ice with it. It's such a. I don't know why, but that tickled me.
Yeah. Man, I really didn't think, when I was watching this episode, I just had so little to write down about it. I didn't think that we'd be able to talk this much about this episode, but we've done it. Yeah, we've had a conversation about this.
Well, here's a question about this episode, though.
Yeah.
One, does Old Lady Princess come back?
I think she does show up. There's a few episodes much later on that have kind of like all the princesses in them. And I think Old Lady Princess shows up in those. There's sort of has a cameo in one of them. I don't know if she has a speaking part, though.
So do you think that since there's an Old Lady Princess, that is there a young girl princess?
I don't know. It's a good question. There seems to be a lot of princesses.
Yeah.
I mean, there is Hot Dog Princess.
Yeah, that's true. She is a hot dog.
She is a hot dog.
Yes. I mean, nothing compared to that Wild Berry Princess.
Wild Berry Princess. Whoa.
Yeah. Hachi Machi. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that was Ice King getting married episode. Erik, let's do a segment.
Okay, what segment are we going to
do? Let's do a little the old look at the shiny rock I found.
Hey, Alex, have you found any shiny rocks lately?
I found 3 shiny rocks.
3 shiny rocks. Okay, cool. Let me get my pen ready. I like to write down these shiny rocks so that I can never use them in sentences
Perfect.
again.
Well, one you're going to recognize.
Okay.
It's a good word in Scrabble to know.
Okay.
Cat. Q-A-T. It's one of the Q without U words.
Okay.
Now, you might recognize this because we talked about it at some point.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does it mean?
It's an Arabian shrub, which they chew, and it's got a...
right.
It's got like a stimulant effect. So
shrub
Q-A-T.
For
cat.
Chewing.
Also worth a good amount in Scrabble. It can also be spelled K-H-A-T.
Oh, cat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing. Okay. Second word.
Mm-hmm.
More of a compound word. I found this on the internet somewhere. Lonesome fret.
Lonesome fret?
Yeah. It's a 19th century term for the feeling of downheartedness caused by solitude or missing someone close.
Aww.
Yeah. Lonesome fret.
Lonesome fret.
Yeah. And then one more, which I think I may have said on the show before, so you're going to have to tell me. Have I ever brought up Kushi-sabeshi?
Kushi-sabeshi?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. What does it mean?
Kushi-sabeshi, and I'm very much mispronouncing it, is a Japanese term, and it means to have a lonely mouth. And it's when you just get into
yeah.
you get into boredom eating. Yeah.
I know of the word. I don't think we've used it on this podcast.
Yeah, I didn't think I used it in a segment, but I thought maybe it came up. Anyway, the point is,
Yeah.
it's a great word, and now you know it.
Yeah, I love that word. It's one of those words that shows up on those, the lists that you get of like, here's, 20 foreign language words that don't have equivalents in English.
I think that's where I found it.
Yeah. So that's a good one. Yeah, that's interesting. Those are shiny rocks for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to try chewing some cat. I think that sounds like a fun.
I don't know if you can get it in the United States.
Well, can't we just order it from Ulaanbaatar or something? Oh wait, that's in Mongolia.
Yeah. Wait, let's hear live on the show.
Okay, we're looking this up.
Can you get caught in the United States? Oh, no. Apparently there's no legal use. It contains 2 central nervous stimulants, cathinone, which is a Schedule 1 drug,
Oops.
and caffeine, which is a Schedule 4 drug.
Oops. Okay, so you don't want to have cat in the United States. You'll get in trouble.
Yeah, apparently it's illegal.
Okay.
But is it more coffee or cocaine? Yeah. Oh, wait, no. A greenleaf cat is quietly and quickly becoming popular in the United States. Well, if anybody out there knows how to get some cod.
Yeah, let us know. I mean, maybe we have to go to a halal market or something.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's illegal from just looking at the first results there. But, yeah, maybe on the show, if you ever want to, listen to Eric and I suck some cot. What?
Nothing. Keep going.
What? We're just going to put cot in our mouth.
Yep.
Just sucking cot all over the show.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're laughing.
Because we're scofflaws.
Yeah. Just, remember to spit, don't swallow.
God. Okay.
Next
Thanks.
episode.
That's good advice. It's really good advice.
Appreciate it. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I was making an allusion towards penises.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Cock kind of sounds like cock, which is
right. Yeah. Okay, I get it now.
Shortened for cockerel,
Cockerel.
which is a
Type
chicken.
of rooster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that your penis looks like a rooster.
Yeah, or a sandworm.
Yeah. My ex-girlfriend used to call my dick Shai Halud.
Yeah. So she probably did a lot of walking without rhythm, huh?
Yeah. I mean, we were pretty drunk most of the time my dick was out, so yeah.
Okay.
So speaking of not talking about this anymore, next episode.
Let's get on to the next topic.
Dungeon.
I love this episode. I love it for a few reasons. I love it for Princess Bubblegum and her swan.
Mm-hmm.
I love it for the cascade, the mountain, the pile of Dungeons and Dragons references. There's so many good ones in this episode. And I love it for the fact that Jake makes the sandwich talk, and then he falls in love with it, makes out with it.
Yes.
Yeah, he really, really loves food. Yeah, so there's so much in this episode. And, there are a few really, really amazing dungeon-based episodes in the show. And it's funny, when the title came up, I was like, oh, really? Are we already to... Because, there's the dungeon train. There's that weird... I mean, I don't even remember them all, but there's a number of, like, really excellent dungeons that they deal with. So, and I had kind of forgotten how fun this episode was. It
is fun. I forgot about Princess Bubblegum riding, like, magical laser swans, which...
Bubblegum away!
Yeah, magical laser swans always going to win me over.
Yeah, I think me too. I am a big fan of the magical laser swan. Although, it looked like it was kind of mechanical, because when she was shooting the laser, she was like pulling a little... And you know how Princess Bubblegum doesn't believe in magic.
But she is sentient bubblegum, so her beliefs mean very little.
Well, it's her dharma to not believe in magic, so...
No, that's not true. That's
she's
just her
being
choice.
a good bubblegum.
No, that's nonsense. That's not her dharma. It's ridiculous.
But, so, the one of the main villains in this episode is the Demon Cat, voiced by none other than Clancy Brown, again.
Yes.
Right? So we just had Clancy Brown last... time when we talked about was it episode 16, I think, has Clancy Brown as a narrator in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I can't believe how many weeks it's been since we recorded.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, hold on. I'll just flip back to
It's the one, there's...
Ocean of Fear.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, so Ocean of Fear was great because it had Clancy Brown and Mark Hamill. This one had, episode 17, the one that we talked about in the first half of this episode, it was a really sparse cast, and so they didn't have any really exciting voice actors in that one. This one has Clancy Brown, and then a couple of voice actors who are kind of famous. I don't know how famous they are, but they do a lot of cartoon work, especially sort of edgy cartoons aimed at grown-ups and stuff. So one of them is Marvin. Nope, that's not. Oh, Maria Bamford, and the other one is Dee Bradley Baker.
Well, Maria Bamford is a stand-up comic.
She also does lots of voice acting.
Yeah, but she made her career off of stand-up comedy.
She played the guardian angel in this episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and Clancy Brown plays the demon cat, and that's who I want to talk about because the demon cat I love. I love his approximate knowledge of many things.
Yeah, it's a really funny line.
Just such a great line, and he's so full of himself.
I love just the interaction of him. Greetings, Frank the human boy.
Yeah.
Funny. And then Finn's response is, "How did you almost know my name?" It's so good.
I have approximate knowledge of many things.
Yeah, it's really quite great.
Yeah, and then there's so many good things in here. When Finn's going through the dungeon, he encounters some really, really classic D&D monsters.
Well, the one that I recognize, I'm going to jump in front of you because I don't know anything about D&D.
Okay.
So this is the only way I can contribute to this part of the conversation, is I know that the fake chest of gold that turns into a monster that tries to eat you is from Dungeons & Dragons.
Yes, that's a mimic.
A mimic, yeah, because that shows up in Japanese role-playing games, which I played a lot of.
Oh, yeah,
and I knew it was stolen from Dungeons & Dragons. And thus ends my Dungeons & Dragons talk.
The floor that turns into a monster and tries to eat him is a Dungeons & Dragons monster. I can't remember what it's called. Probably a living floor or something really goofy like that. And then the jelly cube that has the key in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That's a gelatinous cube, another super, super classic D&D monster.
I mean, a little lacking in the clever name department, but yeah, I like it.
Yeah. They didn't need clever names. They were Dungeons & Dragons. They were making these things up.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then it's possible that the demon cat is a reference to a type of Dungeons & Dragons monster called a displacer beast. I think I thought that the first time I saw this episode, and I thought it again this time, but I don't know. It doesn't really match super well. But the displacer beast is so unique that I don't know that you can really just copy that.
On the cat note, another line that I liked, it was, he says to Finn, "I'm going to unzip your skin and wear you like a little coat." What a terrific line there. The word "little" really sells that.
Yeah.
Wear you like a little coat.
So one of the things that I loved about this episode, so, the part of the premise of this episode is that, Finn is sort of I don't need you, Jake. I can do adventures on my own. And as we have talked about so many times, Jake's purpose in so many of the early seasons is pretty much just to keep Finn alive. He just goes through and uses his magic powers to make sure that Finn doesn't get, jacked up. And we see in this episode that it's really important. Finn gets pulverized. He gets beat up so much.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah, but we also see that Jake can't solve Finn-based puzzles.
Right.
And I love that where it cuts to the newfound respect Chiron that shoots up to show that they're newfound respect. Yeah, it's fun. He beats Jake when they're both wading in soup.
Oh, where the snail shows up.
Oh, was there a snail there? I didn't notice it.
Yeah, the snail shows up in every episode, supposedly.
Oh, no, I knew that. I just didn't notice it in this one.
Yeah, I saw the snail in the soup. I didn't notice the snail in the Ice King episode, but I'm sure he was there somewhere.
I bet you there's a wiki somewhere that says where the snail is in every episode.
Oh yeah, there are some pretty hardcore. As much as we enjoy talking about Adventure Time, we are not as hardcore as some of those Adventure Time nerds out there.
Oh no, we're nowhere even close. We're casuals compared to them.
We just have microphones.
What we should do is one episode when we want the show to end, we'll just read the entire list of where the snail shows up in every episode.
Oh.
It'll be 23 minutes of just boring reading from a Wikipedia page.
We could call it the snail episode.
Yeah. The finale. We're just trying to chase off the last dregs of people that would vaguely be interested in listening to us.
So, I also really, really liked the guardian angel in this. Like,
Yes.
the guardian angel shows up, heals Finn, which is very nice, and then turns into this hideous monster and dumps Finn in the soup. And then, hilariously, so, I mean, the trope of, like, your hero ending up in a pot of soup that's being cooked is, it's a trope. But goes down and lights a single burner gas stove under it, like a camping stove. And I'm just like, oh, that's hilarious.
Yes.
I loved that.
And the guardian angel mentions that low and slow is the way to way to cook your little boys, which I mean, from my experience on Epstein Island, that is the truth.
Oh yeah. Ugh.
Oh, I didn't know if you knew this. We're into cannibalism on that island as well.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's a rough island.
Yeah, that's how they keep them quiet.
So yeah, so that was kind of that was really fun.
We skipped over because this is how the episode ends. When they go into Finn is tempted into the dungeon because Jake sets up the idea that there's a crystal eye of infinite badassness.
Yeah.
And the end of the episode, they find it, and lifting that crystal up releases flaming eyeballs
Out of some sort of demon dimension or something.
which is really great. And then that's when Princess Bubblegum comes in on her
Swan.
that shoots lasers.
Oh my god, it's like it's a reference to that T-Rex song, Ride a White Swan.
I was thinking it was a reference to the Nintendo game Kid Icarus.
I'm going to go with T-Rex.
Well, because there's flying eyeballs in that game too, and
Oh,
somebody
really?
with wings.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
And you can get turned into an eggplant by the eggplant wizards, which in the modern parlance of emoji means a lot different than what they meant in the early game.
That's like a cock.
Oh, that stuff they chew for a stimulant?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, baby, you want to chew my cock? All right. Yeah, and they fly away together after she screams, "Get on my swan," which I'm a really big fan of.
Yeah.
And Finn wins her back over by saying, "You're a very smart princess." She's like, "Damn right I am."
But I mean, she's also sort of like, I hope you guys have learned something from this, and that's something that has shown up in a lot of episodes too, where that sort of ends with like, did we learn anything? And they, rarely have they learned anything.
Truth.
But yeah, this episode is just such a delight to watch. Like, there's so many fun characters. There's so many Dungeons & Dragons references. There's so much, like...
Oh, you know what we skipped is Bucket Knight.
Bucket Knight.
Bucket Knight's the best, because Bucket Knight's a tiny little boy, and then he throws water on himself, and he grows to enormous size.
Yeah.
Oh, Bucket Knight's good. You ever play the game Shovel Knight?
No, I've never even heard of a game called Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight's great. It's a modern game, but it's done in an 8-bit Nintendo style, and you're a knight that fights with a shovel. And it's like platformer style, so you can pogo bounce using your shovel on enemies and platform around. It's very good.
Huh. Well, I'll trust you.
Audience at home, I recommend wholeheartedly
Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you get it on Steam?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure you can.
Oh, well, that's cool. Yeah, so here's something. Both of these episodes, I think neither of them had a lot of really strong kind of like occult influence stuff. Like, that's one thing that we really like to point out in episodes. Nothing in either of these really leapt out at me. I mean, the Guardian Angel, I guess.
The Guardian Angel is the only thing that's remotely occulty.
Yeah, and actually, it is sort of funny. Like, one of the things, people who do a lot of, like, spirit work or communing with spirits are always sort of like, how can you know if you can trust the spirit? How do you know if it's a good spirit or a bad spirit? And it's sort of like, you have to ask, and you have to do these things, and there's all these sort of tests you're supposed to do. And here we kind of see the danger of a spirit turning out bad, faking being a good spirit, and then being like, oh, actually, I'm a cannibal, and I'm going to turn you into soup.
Yeah.
So there we go. Occult reference.
That's what happened to me when I tried to summon things.
And you're soup to this day.
I am. I mean, I do have the consistency of soup, at least around the waistline. Eric.
Yes.
Let's talk about another segment.
Okay.
Here's something that. All right. So I see you brought a thing. Let's not bring that up yet.
Okay.
But we always forget to do this.
Oh.
What character won these episodes? We've done this in one episode where we decided to.
That's right, and we wanted to keep doing this segment because it's so much fun. You know what? I'm honestly going to say Demon Cat. Demon Cat won the episodes for me.
See, Demon Cat's in third place to me. My first and second place, my first and second is, and I don't know which is first and which is second, is Robot Laser Swan and Bucket Knight.
Oh, wait, if we're going to pick like a really, really background character, possibly the winner, I might have to change my vote then.
What's your vote?
I think it's going to be either a toss-up between the sandwich and the bugbear with a laser pointer.
Yeah, strong options.
Yeah, that bugbear, he outsmarted Jake with a laser pointer.
All right, I mean that's fair, but I'm gonna go with Bucket Knight.
Bucket Knight? Okay, I'm going to go with sandwich.
All right, Bucket Knight and Sandwich win the episodes.
All right.
Congratulations, guys.
Nobody in episode 17 was even a contender. No Gunter. I really wanted to see Gunter.
Yeah, no Gunter. What I also realized about these episodes is, as much as I'm enjoying watching them, I really am looking forward to the more lore-heavy episodes.
Yeah.
I'm not tired of the one-offs, but I'm a little tired of the one-offs. Like I really want a little bit more meat on my Adventure Time sandwich.
Yeah, and I mean we will be getting into those soon.
Oh, shortly, very shortly.
There are some more lore heavy episodes. And season 1, how many episodes are in season 1? We've talked about this before. I think
low 20s.
Yeah, so
season 2 starts with a
the
lore
Nightosphere.
episode.
Yeah.
So
and that is a great one. We have already done 2 podcast episodes about that episode.
Yeah.
On previous podcasts. So yeah, that's going to be really, really fun to get back into.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, these are fun, but, I want some lore.
Me too. Yeah, because we do kind of run out of stuff to talk about. So like the only real lore we got in this is like Ice King is a bad guy and Princess Bubblegum is a badass.
And lore can use contractions while Data can't.
Oh, God. I really hate myself for understanding that reference.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Okay, so I feel like we discussed those pretty quickly, so we need another segment.
Yeah, okay, so here's the other segment that we don't bring up enough.
Okay.
What have you been reading, playing, imbibing, watching, etc. lately?
Oh man. Okay, this morning I watched the first 2 episodes of the next season of Titans, the new season of Titans.
Oh, yes. Okay. I know the show.
They were amazing. I had become so tired of that show. I really thought that season 3 kind of didn't do it for me very much. And going into season 4, I was kind of like, well, I'm going to keep watching it. But, I wasn't really enthusiastic about it. And holy shit, they were so good. They were amazing episodes. They've got, I think in the trailers, you see that Lex Luthor gets introduced. There are some great character moments. There's some great, a lot of the characters have sort of come into their own and are sort of like more comfortable with their powers now. So there's a lot of that going on, but you still have like the Tim Drake character sort of coming in and being the newbie, not knowing what's going on.
That's what the young Robin?
Yeah, so I was really impressed with those. And then also I've been watching Andor.
Yes.
Which continues to be really solid and really impressed me. I'm really enjoying that.
I'm really enjoying Andor as well. It is exponentially better than it has any right to be.
And then reading, I just finished Jason Miller's book, Consorting with Spirits, which is a book about spirit work. It's a book about magic, a cult book. I really enjoyed it. Jason Miller has a really good way of talking about stuff. He sometimes writes pretty introductory material, but I found this to be a pretty good intermediate to advanced level book, which I really enjoyed. He had really good insight. I recommend it to anybody out there who's doing the magic. Get Consorting with Spirits by Jason Miller.
Are you going to consort with some spirits now?
I already consort with spirits.
Yeah, but I mean like more spirits.
Yeah, I think I will. I think I'm going to start doing that more. I was doing that pretty regularly for a while, and I kind of had fallen out of the practice.
Right, tell him I said hey. Yeah.
I will. I'll say it. Tell him you said hi.
Yeah, just like, yeah, what's up? That's from Alex. All right, so here's what I've been watching, reading, imbibing, drinking, playing. I watched The Devil's Hour on Amazon Prime, starring Peter Capaldi. And it is a kind of psychological thriller thing. And I don't want to go too far past that because it's a great show, but it starts going in a direction you do not expect. Yeah, it gets weird in a good way. So yeah, it's on Amazon Prime called The Devil's Hour. Peter Capaldi's great. And yeah, it's can't really go much more into it. Just
because it's just you're just going to be giving stuff away.
yeah, the hook is the thing that really gets it, but saying the hook is going to ruin it for you. Well, not ruin it, but yeah. I've also been watching Andor. What else I've been?
Should we say anything more about Andor? Like, everybody knows it's a Star Wars show, I assume, and it stars Cassian Andor, who is the male lead from Rogue One, and it's sort of like a prequel story for him. But yeah, it is really good. It's got young Mon Mothma. It's got Saw Gerrera. It's got. Does it have anybody else?
It's got one of the Skarsgårds playing a guy.
Yes. And I love Skarsgårds.
It's got
are amazing
Melshi.
actors. Melshi?
Melshi was in Rogue One.
Oh.
Andor meets him in the. This is slightly a spoiler. Andor meets him in the prison.
Which one is he?
Oh, I don't know. Did they just say the name Melshi, and I recognized it from the show?
Oh, okay.
From the movie.
And the other thing. So in Rogue One, they've got that droid helper, like the Imperial droid that's been reprogrammed.
K2SO.
Yeah, and they have that model security droid, which is one of the ones.
Yes.
Andor gets captured by one, which is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and where you are in the series right now, I don't know how far. Are you caught up?
I'm one episode back.
Oh, so you saw him get arrested and get sent to prison.
Yes.
He's still there.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed.
Yeah. But it's fun. They've managed to already squeeze in like an amazing heist scene, some really good chase. It's been a really fun.
Oh, and
series.
Gollum's in it.
Oh yeah,
Andy
he's
Serkis is in it.
he's sort of the foreman in their prison work gang. Yeah.
Andor's great. I recommend it wholeheartedly. And that's all I've been really doing. I've been working on my work as well, but nothing to really report there. All right, so Eric, you brought a tarot deck. Let's close out the episode with a tarot thing.
Okay. So I don't think I've brought this tarot deck to show off, at least not on this show yet.
I don't think so.
I've had it for a little while, and it's very, very special to me. This is the Fifth Spirit Tarot by Charlie Claire Burgess, a.k.a. the Word Witch. It's a queer, inclusive deck for a world beyond binaries. Claire is a friend of mine, and they put a ton of work into this deck. It has a beautiful clamshell box. The card stock is really nice. It sort of has that kind of textured, linen-y paper feel. Here, you can feel that. See. And the cards are sort of thin, but...
That is a linen stock.
Yeah, but it makes them really, really easy to shuffle. So anyhow, one of the things I like about this deck, I kind of grabbed it at the last minute because I was sort of like, oh, this would be fun to show off. But there's an additional story. So it's queer and inclusive, meaning that like most of the characters are kind of gender queer. Most of the characters on the cards, you can't really tell if they're men or women most of the time, or in between, or whatever they want to be. But also... it's not all white people, which is great because, as you know, most tarot decks are just a bunch of white people.
Yes.
Or cats.
I was deciding whether I wanted to make a joke there, and I went against it. Yeah.
But Charlie's had a great deal of success. I'm not really sure how much of it is I'm allowed to talk about, but I do know that they got like an amazing publishing deal for the Fifth Spirit Tarot. It got picked up by a big publisher, and that means that this version that I have, the first edition, has some cards that are going to have to be changed because they might have gotten a little bit too close to breaking some copyrights in a few places. But when you independently publish, who checks that?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I would say if you have a chance, get a copy of the Fifth Spirit Tarot from the Word Witch's website now before the new one comes out, and then get the new one too because support your independent deck creators who make it big. That's pretty exciting.
Charlie's a nice person.
Oh yeah, you met him.
Yes.
Yeah, Charlie's a great person. So yeah, that's the tarot deck I brought. When we did our Halloween live stream, I used the Spoopy Tarot, which I think is
weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a cute gimmick, but it's just a very difficult deck to read, both physically because the cards are like a little bit too thick and
they're like the Thoth deck, like just a little bit too big to like do anything with.
Yeah, but also the card stock itself is like a little too thick.
Yeah.
So the cards are just very, very difficult to shuffle. And then the artwork, it's really, really hard to keep straight which of their, custom suits matches up with the suits in a classical deck. So it's sort of like, it just, yeah, I found it to be, I've used it a few times now and I've found it to be hard to read with every time, but it's cute. It's a very cute artsy deck. So it's, yeah.
Well, do you have any more segments in mind, or do we just wrap it up?
I think it's good to wrap it up. So how do we usually wrap up our episodes?
Well, let's tell them that you can find us on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
At Wiz Biz Podcast.
And we're on Twitch also at Wiz Biz Podcast.
Yeah,
we're on Instagram at Wiz Biz Podcast.
Instagram, we have very little posted there, but
Yeah.
technically we have an Instagram.
Yeah, I think Twitter is where we're most active.
Yeah, Twitter is where to go.
Yeah. I've done a few things on Twitch. I've twitched playing Trombone Champ and some Adventure Time games from the Cartoon Network website, and then we had our live stream. And I'm planning on doing some more things there. Twitch is tough though. I don't totally get it. But anyhow, yeah, please find us at those places. And then on the web, we are at wizbizpodcast.com. Please remember to subscribe to the show. And even more importantly, tell a friend. Tell a friend. Word of mouth is how podcasts grow. And so help us out. Tell your buddies about this amazing show and how much you're enjoying it.
Exactly what he said.
Yes.
And, if you find a place to leave a review or something, do that too.
Yeah. Reviews are also good.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah, we'll see you next time.
All right. Adios.
Bye.
Goodbye, Gunter.